Good morning. It's Monday, April 20th. I hope you had a good weekend. The rainy weather has set in for a few days, I guess. So first of all, I'd like to point out that there's this new instructor survey. It's something we've not done before. I hope you can leave comments, but please log in to this instructor survey. As you may realize, but you may not, I do want you to be successful in this class. So this requires me to continuously improve, and how can I do that without your honest feedback? So make sure you give me some feedback on that. In the beginning, we were doing activities in class. That's the first time I've done such an extensive amount of activities. If you remember that, tell me if you like that or not. I really would like your feedback on that. Even though you log in with your RAMS ID, it is 100% anonymous. I have no clue who's writing what comment, but please do that. I would really appreciate it. Okay, this week's office hours and tutoring are on Tuesday at 10 and Friday at 2, and I can set up individual sessions as needed. We are working on Chapter 13 this week, the brain and cranial nerves, so you need to do the homework, the quiz, and the lab by the 25th, which is Saturday. So we'll jump down here to the class. So this is the third chapter of your nervous system. The test will open on Thursday, due Saturday the 25th. The nervous tissue lab part 2 is in visible body. That's also due on the 25th. There is a lab sheet in the course resources in visible body, but you'll also find one located down below by the assignment link. You will complete that and submit at the link below. You must memorize the cranial nerves, so please print them out, and there's a worksheet down below, and fill that out. So the goal this week, you've already accomplished half of it by watching this announcement, but you need to complete the brain and cranial nerves lab by the 25th, take the brain and cranial nerves quiz by the 25th, complete the mastering by the 25th, and take the test by the 25th. Let's see. Oh yeah, the lab info. So cranial nerves, they're in class. There is a very extensive cranial nerve lab that we just can't do here. So I've skipped that whole lab. We're just working on the brain, and then you're going to learn the cranial nerves. So here they are in order. So what you've got to do is you have to know the Roman numeral. So if you don't know your Roman numerals by now, learn them. Number 2, know them in order. And you can think up some sentence. There are sentences online to learn these in order. Then you have to know a function. So olfaction is our sense of smell. So our first cranial nerve, Roman numeral 1, olfactory, is for olfaction. You can think of old factories, smell. And you have to know whether it is sensory, motor, or both. And I've got some, I can help you with that. I have a tip sheet on that. So look at those cranial nerves. I don't think it'll really help you to read tons about them. You just need to know a specific function. So I will open up that cranial nerve worksheet. You do not owe me this worksheet. You won't get credit for this worksheet, but it will help you pass the cranial nerves quiz. So here they are. Here's a sheet I've typed out. The first, here are your Roman numerals, and then the name of the nerve. So olfactory, optic, oculomotor. Sense of smell for olfactory, optic is vision. Now you have to know whether it is a sensory nerve or a motor nerve or a mixed nerve. That would mean it's both sensory and motor. So if you memorize this sentence, you'll be able to know whether it is a sensory nerve, a motor nerve, and so on. So Susan Sarandon makes money. What? I've made a mistake on my outline. Oh, God. I'll fix that and get that up there. So it should be Susan Sarandon makes money, but my brother says Bugs Bunny makes more. So I will correct that. There is a fresh human autopsy, a fresh human brain autopsy. Here's a worksheet that goes with your brain lab. Basically, it's answering questions and identifying structures, and it tells you where to go in Visible Body to work on that. Now, in terms of the brain and cranial quiz, you need to know all of your cranial nerves, that worksheet. But these are the parts of the brain you must be able to identify. So keep this in mind as you're going through your brain lab. These are finally what you must come out with. These are the need to know for that quiz. And so I'll have some pictures that you need to identify on the quiz, and then you'll probably just fill in that whole chart or answer specific questions on the cranial nerves. The whole chart is actually easier because once you've memorized that chart, you can just write it down very quickly. So I hope that answers questions. Now for the visible body, let's go into that, and this is what you'll see. It's nervous system part 2. That's what's due this week. And I hope you're able to manipulate in visible body using your arrows and your touchpad to move the structures around, because you really need to move the brain around to see the different parts of it for this lab. That's it. Bye-bye.